Who nuked me 4 times?
Hey guys, I just need to take a second to please just come into my Discord and hang out, man. We got most of the top 30 Broken Arrow players. We have the Broken Math bot. It's up to date actually now. It's probably the most active official Broken Arrow Discord there is, point blank period. These hooligans have been trying to count to 5,000 for forever. Pretty close now, it's kind of scary. But please come through. I appreciate it so much. Also, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part or worst part. Tell me how much better you are than me and all that kind of fun shit. Thank you all for watching. Love you. Alright, so how it's going to work is you just tell me whatever you want to see, and then we'll go over that. And then you can create we'll start by you creating a battle group or whatever. Try to use the newer shit so people can see the newer stuff. Alright, so what 2 specs do you want to use?
I would say let's go first. I mean, we are going to start with the new specs, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just start with the motorized infantry, and then after that the mechanized.
So, for the recon tab, what are you looking at? Why are you looking at it?
Alright, I'm going to take a look first, just before we're going to start. You know, I have no idea what the statistics are going to look like, so it's kind of a blind guess for me at this point. Okay, so let's just take a look at the divergency, no idea how to pronounce it, honestly. There's 2 options, ambushes and informers. Basically, out of the 2, I would take the ambush one with the RPG 30. Because it's supposed to bypass the APS systems, like on tanks and IFVs. And this is kind of an expensive unit for 4 men, and you will need to use it in mostly forest, I think, to ambush, basically, as the name implies, the heavy vehicles. But other than that, you cannot really use it like in open fields. And which transport, I would say maybe the key 16 boomerang.
Would you keep his key,
been a while.
the K16 or K17?
Yeah. I would say at least take the up armor, because that way it's going to be 16 AP, and that makes it quite more tanky against small arms, at least. Yeah, and you know, the 30mm gun is pretty nice, but that makes it 100 points already. It's kind of expensive for my taste. The AMG is already pretty good, I think. So this is exactly how I would use it.
Okay. How many would you bring?
Yeah, and maybe like 2 cards of it.
For both?
Yeah, that is okay, yeah.
Would you bring any Razveka?
What's the loadout of the Razveka?
They only have 1 loadout with 4 AKMs, let's see, grenade launcher, SVD, and the RPG-26.
Honestly, I wouldn't use this one at all.
Okay. I saw a lot of them during the press build, but I think it's just because they're cheap recon. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but look at the sniper. It's only 25 points, and you get a lot of more stealth.
Yeah.
I would use this one even in the front lines, like what the Razveka is supposed to do, but this one seems to be more reliable in that case.
Would you use the anti-material or would you use the SV98?
Yeah, I would just take it as cheap as possible, so just the normal sniper rifles, because you're not supposed to use the weapons.
Okay.
Just take a look at people.
How many cards would you bring?
Yeah, I would take on foot, because those guys should be able to transport with the other transports.
Yeah, 100%.
So
how many would you bring?
Let's take all 4 cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
The GRU I saw a lot of.
Okay, so this should be really strong infantry as far as infantry goes. Out of the 3 loadout options, I would take the RPG 28. Why? Because the mixed build seems to be cutting in half in ammo. So you get 3 ammo on the AT gun, and that feels like it's not enough to kill anything.
Okay.
And for the anti-air one, there's just one launcher, so it seems to be quite weak, honestly. The RPG-28 is a nice dedicated AT gun, and for this one I would let's take a look at the BTR-82 and the guns, yes, and the armor. Alright. I would take the P16 boomerang still, like we previously did. Yeah. 55 points, yes, and take all 3 cards. And max out the transports as well. Yes, perfect.
Will you bring any of these?
Let's take a look at the BRDM3. Okay, what's the difference? Mostly the recon value, I think.
Yes, the
Okay.
recon value.
Yeah.
And the PRP-5 turret gives you a laser designator.
Yeah, you know, those unarmed recon vehicles didn't really work previously, but I really want to try it out, honestly. So let's just take the PRP turret, because the recon value is pretty good, I think, and I want to try it out. Maybe it works this time around. 2 picks should be okay. Okay. Yeah, I would honestly not take this one.
Okay.
And what about that Jeep?
SPG-9s are ruthless, but
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go back real quick and take one last card on the Spetsnaz. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Maybe 2 or 3 cards with the SPG-9.
and then any
Yeah,
Corsairs.
so in big picture this looks okay, but I need to check out the UFV as well.
How do I feel about it?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, this
you-
one is really nice as well. Okay, let's take away the BDM3, like the PRP 5K. Let's take it all away. Yeah, and then instead we go for the Corsair and just the sensors and no weapons, and as much as possible. Yeah, that's okay. This is perfect.
Okay. And then we got the infantry tab. Saw a lot of early game BMPs being rolled up my ass. It's definitely a strat. These guys are a pain in the ass. And the fucking thing we were just talking about is also a pain in the ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. Okay, I might be overwhelmed, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's just take it slow. Let's take let's go chronologically, you know, from top to bottom.
Yep.
You know, previously or prior, the grenade launchers weren't really that impressive. So the dedicated AGS 17 unit, yeah, I'm going to pass on that one, honestly. H-man, okay, that's pretty good. This is a nice squad that I would take, I think. Yes, and then the BTR 82A. Because that one is not bad at all.
You wouldn't want to take another
but just
K16?
needed yeah. Can you compare the most expensive loadouts between the K16 and the BTR 82? And also the boomerang 30mm gun for the K16. Okay, it's 75 points between versus 135. I would go for the BTR in
Okay.
this configuration. And let's take 4 cards each. Yeah, I'm dubbed, honestly, because this one seems to be almost the same, but it just has a better AT gun. I would pass on that one, but this one is exactly really nice, because of the mixed build with the PKP and the ATS. Quite spammy. Would take 3 to 4 cards of this with the BMP3. Yes, and then honestly I would take the EPOCA module and the ERA package as well. It looks really nice. I love this one. And just take all the 3 cards for this one too. I love it. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Can we scroll down and see if there's any other one with the manpads? These are Eigler and... Okay, yeah, I would pass on the Motorstrelki. Yes, I wouldn't take that one. This is a nice dedicated anti-infantry, so there's 2 options. Like people were saying it's between Incendiary and Thermobarics. Taking a look on the stats. Yeah, so I would take the Incendiary missiles, so the MROZ. And this is the first time something like this is shown, so I have no idea how it's going to be working out, but it seems better than the other option as far as so. And what was that missile on the... yeah, okay, it's also Thermobarics. That looks pretty cool.
Looks interesting for sure. I don't remember seeing these in game.
I would take the BTO.
Okay. How many cards of these guys?
Yeah, for the infantry, I think I will take like all 4 of them. And the BTO, yeah, let's just take 2.
That's strong. That's a strong squad.
Okay. That's a good question.
That is a strong squad.
8 man. I would take this one instead of the Cornet squad or the other one. Let's take 3 cards of the Metis, like on foot. So no transports. Yeah, that is fine. Yes. Let's skip those 2 because I'm not really interested in ATGM streams.
Okay, let me just show the stats for those who care.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay.
Alright, so next off we have the really hard name called like Pulametsiki PKP.
The Pokemon PKP.
I hope I said it fine. Yeah, we have 2 options, the Kurt HMG and the PKP. There's like 3 machine guns over there for 65 points, and that looks pretty nice. So I would stick with the cheaper option. And I'm actually pondering if I'm going to take the BMP3 or 2. So in the meantime, I was thinking about the units, and between the BMP3 and the BMP2, I want to stick with the BMP2 this time around. We need to check out the weapons package because I skipped over that one. Okay, yeah, let's take the one in the middle, like with the grenade launcher. It's like a nice versatile build. 70 points, going to cost 10 points. Can you armor down so it becomes 60 points instead? Yes. Okay, that's really nice, I think. And for the cards, let's go with 2 and 2. Nice dedicated anti-air manpad squad. It's really hard to tell because the price is pretty hefty, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. You have to remember that prices, you get a lot more money now than before.
Yeah. Yeah, they might change maybe. But I think at this point, I think both of them are too expensive for what they do. Like the 2 launches are nice, but I'd rather instead take a dedicated vehicle for that position. So let's skip for this one. So this is like a tank hunter with 2 launches. They have nice wings as far as I saw. Let's compare this like with the normal AT gun someone else had, like the Moto Picota. Okay, so it's 400 meters versus 600 meters.
It's more damage.
A little more penetration value. The damage is nearly the same. 65 points versus 70 points is actually quite balanced, I feel. This is good in force, I think. The RPG 29 at least. How many points have we left? We do have a lot of points still.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of
yeah.
BMPs.
Yeah, so I was already saying I might get overwhelmed, and now I realize I already feel like, okay, wow, that's a lot of points.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not used to that because previously in the older betas we had a lot less points going on. Okay, so let's return real fast to the RPG 29 because I'm going to take this one. Let's
Okay.
take them on the foot and then just 4 cards of them. Yeah, perfect. Okay, this is supposedly one of my favorite units because I really love how they look like. The camo and the helmets and all that's really cool. They have more than one option, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
close
bugged.
quarters and standoff. Mm-hmm.
So a big thing to keep in mind here too is how many smokes you get for each unit as well.
Okay, that is really interesting.
There's a 5-second cooldown on it. I did not know that. And then because of that, right? So your damage up close is significantly different.
Yeah, so the left one, the close quarter option, is really nice in forest.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a picture in our minds and think about the map called Dam that we played previously. And that one has like 3 to 4 objective zones in the forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I can see the close quarter one perform really nicely in that area. It's really map dependent, I feel. Otherwise,
it's also player dependent too.
Probably better.
I gotta say, it's gotta be player dependent too. If you use a lot of smoke to get
Mhm.
close to enemy, then the close range shit matters a lot more. But
Yeah.
if you don't play like that, then standoff is usually your best bet. But since you're
Yeah,
a
so-
smoke player, you know.
I feel like the standoff option is much better in urban areas, like in cities, where they have a greater line of sight. And yeah,
No, it's
most of the maps I have seen, they show a lot more cities than, forests. So
Yeah.
in that case, maybe 70 to 80% of the time you are going to be better off with the standoff option, even though that the close quarter option is looking really nice with the 4 smokes, more armor, and all that. Yeah.
okay.
So my final verdict on this one should be standoff. Let's take out 3 cards of them because they are probably one of the best. And for this one, let's go with the biggest boomerang loadout. So like with the APS, and take all the cards for that one. And now we should be close to the limit. And now it's more a case of what more units do we need in the availability.
We can always come back too if we need to.
Yeah, I would say let's go with the Pulamachiki, that one with the machine
increase it.
guns. Oh yeah, that one. And then maybe 1 or 2 more of them. Yes, take the transports, but this is perfect. This is okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay. A really small roster. Funny.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the meteorite. It's like a MyClick.
Yep.
MyClick. Cheaper as well, as far as I see. I'm kind of wondering why. Is it because it have less range or something?
Yeah, say 100 meters.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about it because you can always put it behind a building or in the forest, so it's not seen directly. Let's take two cards of this. Okay, so because we don't have a lot of options and just 2 lines of tanks, this one needs to have an APS system. But I would go with that one instead with the 65 points.
Okay.
A little bit less armor indeed. And just to shave off in the cost. Yeah, that's perfect. Take 1 more. Yeah, okay, for now that's fine. And then this is probably the workhorse of this deck. And I've been thinking about this the days prior to this video, and I would take the T72B1 without the missile, so the cheapest one. And been going back and forth on the contact 1 and 5, and instead I would go with the cheapest one as well for this one, and give it the engine package indeed, so it becomes faster. And it's a really cheap tank. It's like almost the same cost of the Sprout that we saw in the VDV.
Yep.
But this one actually has armor, so that's pretty nice. And just let's max it out, see how far we get. Okay, 4 is enough. Alright. Let's start off with the Tunguska with 3 options. Take a look on the Panzer, and we see that it ends up at 225 points. Not too expensive. It has the nice benefit of killing helicopters in one hit, so that is pretty strong. The optics are not really that relevant, I feel. It's mostly for ground.
Yeah, I was looking for if there's any difference.
Oh yeah, it's nice. You can see the little window pop-ups. Okay, it's not really that much different. Okay, so as far the missiles go, you would say the Panzer is a lot stronger, honestly. Much greater damage. But honestly, I would go with the cheapest one, so 150 points, because I have compared it to the coastal ZSU, the Strelets, and that one was almost the same, but just 25 points, and much worse. So this one is just good. All 4 cards, please. Nice.
So to stay on anti-air while we're here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we have seen this one in the February beta, really nice one. And I would go with the M3 variant. Just because of the ammo, it's really nice. And yeah, take all 3 cards of it.
Strelas.
And the Strela. Yeah, so I'm not really sure about this, because it feels like the Tunguska already has filled its place. Can you compare the Sosna with the Tunguska? Okay, so it has 400 more range. That is pretty strong. Against helicopters, that at least a little bit more efficient. It doesn't have a radar. What is the range actually when the radar is activated? It becomes like 2,500 meters, right?
So it says for radar for low range it's 1.25. So
Yeah.
for low alt, and then for high alt it's times 2.
Okay, so for good players, I think they are just happy with the Tunguska and don't really need the Sosna, because they're mostly the same in the ranges and damage. But maybe we can take the Strela option, 80 points, pretty cheap. It's a kind of a man patch, but in a vehicle package with more ammo. It's nice. 4 cards, please. Yes.
Saw a lot of these.
And this one is supposedly strong in openness, because it travels at 70 speed, a little faster than the other options. It also has radar, so the range is strong as well. It fires on missiles, aircraft, helicopters. Okay, so at this point I feel that we might have too much AA. So let's remove all the Strela, and then instead go with the OSA. And then all 4 cards again. Yep, nice. Okay, they have so much anti-air. And I feel that like some of these units kind of overlap each other. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, 100%.
And this one has much more range than the Duck. 4,300, 250 points.
And then it's times 2, so 8,600.
And what is the damage? Like this one has
25.
25 points, but what does it have in comparison to the Bug M3? This one is 90 points, and every aircraft mostly has like 20 HP, right?
I don't know, honestly. Hold on. Yeah, 20.
That means that the bug cannot one-shot aircraft. It's a pretty big deal. So let's take this one.
Okay.
Two cars.
Do you want the upgrade?
Yeah, exactly with the 350 points with the upgrade. And then take one card off from the bug. So it's 2-2, and hopefully that works.
Okay.
And then we have like roughly 500 points left. So taking a look at this, maybe it's good to take a step back and 2 cards off from the OSA before we go further with the artillery. Yes, and now we have a little bit more room. I haven't seen this one in action before
Oh my
because
God.
I didn't really check the videos, but I heard a lot of people talk about it, right?
It hits so fucking hard.
Like you couldn't move forward or something, right?
Yeah, it fucks you up.
So just the infantry or all the tanks as well and that kind of stuff?
I don't remember seeing it being used against tanks and stuff like that, but definitely against infantry. Even in buildings, it fucks them up.
Yeah. So you can see it kind of like the same effect you see from a thermobaric shell or something. Like it hits so hard, it just destroys the buildings and all that, right?
Yeah, it hits like a fucking tank.
Okay. And what is the range on the shells?
2,200.
And that is not crazy, right? That is not a lot of range.
No, but these are mortars.
For 140 points, that's crazy. It's cheap. Yeah, this is like a steal, I feel.
Yeah. You bring fucking 6 of them.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, 2 cards of this.
This fucking thing.
This one has like a lot of range. Compare it to the Chopin.
And you see so many of these in the fucking battlefield. My Central Village video, it's like there was like 12 on the field at the same time. I try to maneuver.
This looks pretty nice for counter battery, I think. No? So personally, I feel that is kind of a waste most of the time. Like you can spend your time differently. Like when you're being fired at with artillery, just move your units. And the more you go forward, the closer you are to the enemy artillery, right? So I feel this one is kind of redundant. Alright.
These incendiary rockets were fucking my ass up the entire press beta.
Yeah, I love this one. Previously, in the February game, 200 points. I believe it became cheaper again. Because before it went to 250 points, I feel.
Explains
Maybe
why
I
there's so
might
many
be
more of them,
mistaken. Yeah. You know, it's a kind of a toss-up between the Grad and the Smirch, because we also need to take logistic, and we don't have a lot of points left. And also, we only have 2 cards left to take. So we need to rethink everything again.
We do
let's
hurry up a little bit.
Let's remove the bug again, like entirely, and then let's go back to the Grad and the Smirch.
Okay.
They are like 2 of the same role, I feel, but they do it differently. So.
Oh wow, the Smirch can touch way farther though.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's 600 meters additional.
Even just
Okay,
regular.
that's nice.
Like this for counterberry would be pretty big.
Okay, so what would you say? So in the press belt, you played against mostly vehicles, or did you also see a decent amount of infantry?
So obviously I was playing the US entire time. I definitely saw a metric fuck ton of vehicles. A lot of vehicles, and then not as much infantry, but I would force those infantry fights. And then a lot of support assets, like a lot of support assets. I don't know if that's just because of how the press people played or whatever, but artillery was just fucking everywhere. You could not avoid it.
Yeah.
And getting your planes into counter was very rough because of the ranges on these fucking Russian.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so personally, I feel we will be seeing a lot of vehicles in the upcoming release. And for that, you want to take the cluster warheads, indeed. But yeah, so I'm not really entirely sold on the deguided cluster munitions, even with the added range. So it's nice, but at that point, I'm going to pay much more. No, 25 points is fine, actually, but I want to stick as cheap as possible. You know me. So yes, this is not fine. This is okay. Let's take, yeah, 1 or 2. I'm debating about it now. Yeah, 2 is fine. 2 is okay. Okay, this is nice. This is okay. Then we have the. This is like a cruise missile, right?
It's a ballistic missile.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of them, like mechanically speaking. So you won't see me use that one. This is like a logistic vehicle. I see 55 points, 60 speed, 12,000 carry capacity.
I was making sure I was looking at it right.
Can you compare that those? Like this one in there, and then okay, this is fine. This works. Okay, let's take a look real quick. Okay, so I would not take the Duplo, I feel. Maybe I would, only in the case for supplying your backline units, like the anti-air systems.
Yeah. I mean, this is 8,000, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, 8,000 is also nice, and it also has the benefit of transporting infantry around.
Both have that. This one can do more. And it's amphibious.
28, 24. But this one is 85 speed, or kilometers per hour, is much better. Yeah, so I would like to avoid the Duplo and instead go for this one, the Ural, 4 cards, as much as possible at least. Okay, and then we are left with 50 points. And this one is supposed to be the same thing, but lighter transport.
It's probably better to bring this for like resupplying your front line. So you're not wasting 8,000. You can waste only bring it like 4,000, or you can drop it to 2,000, so it's smaller. And
the only benefit you get is like more armor. It's a little cheaper, maybe.
Yeah, So I like to have like 2,000 to just do like a bunch of little fucking supply points up front. So if I lose one, it's only 2,000 versus a 4,000. It's not the craziest thing, and it's, I don't know. Personally, I hate losing 4,000 plus fucking supply points.
You mean, when we are talking about capacities, when you're going to use a lot of frontline units, right? You have like a line on the front, and you want to supply that line, right? Generally, I feel that you don't really need much more than 2,000, because you're going to spread them out with many separate supply zones. So it could work, honestly. I don't see it as bad.
This can carry supplies too.
Yeah, but going back on the past conversations, real fast, the one we picked out, the Ural 4,300 to 3, whatever. This is just a much better pick overall, I feel.
So hear me out on that. Well, yeah, of course. So I think this should be like your backline. Like this should definitely be your frontline resupply. You get a smoke, and you can Kazovac your units too. I think this is actually pretty fire. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I'm not really impressed. Yeah, I'm not really impressed at this one at all. It's pretty slow, 50 points. It does have the option to take weapons, so that is nice. But at that point, just take a dedicated IFV, like we already did in the infantry tab. So nah.
Okay, so what do you do?
Oh yeah, to take a mortar with the smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has 27 smokes.
That has a lot of smoke ammo, indeed. 70 points, 90 points, and the other one is 100 points.
And you keep losing smoke the more you go up.
Yeah, but I'm mostly curious to the middle option, the center option, the Vasiliok. Because previously in Wargame, this mortar was also in it, and it fired like 4 shells in a shotgun style. So you had 4 shots of smoke in one salvo, so to speak. magazine size for load time. You know, but the 90 points is kind of crazy for me. But you know, also we have a lot of infantry, and I feel those need the smoke to get around more safely. Yeah, so we need to take at least one of this, I feel.
You're bringing out a 70. We have more smokes. And what's the magazine size on this? Don't say.
Yeah, let's take the cheapest one, the Deva option, and maybe work it out to 2 cards if possible. Okay, yeah, it's possible.
You can bring 4 cards if you want.
2 is fine for now.
Okay.
Helis. Okay, helicopters.
That is brutal.
Okay, 150 points, pretty cheap. You know, I'm not
80 fucking rockets? Oh my god.
Yeah, crazy. 150 points. Yeah, I want to compare it first with the other options because the other ones might be offering different stats for better, maybe. Okay, honestly, the 2000 optics value from the MI24K, the previous one, yes, it's pretty nice. It's like supposed to spot shit. Yeah, and for that one, I would take the MI28. Are we on the MI28 now, or are we still with the
It's whatever.
MI24?
It's whatever you want, really.
Yeah, let's return first to that one, to MI24K, and take the rim parts and the rockets.
Gun pods and rockets?
Mm-hmm.
So like this?
Yeah, because this way they are pretty good against infantry in buildings.
Yep. Okay. Would you take a MI24? Pete? Or
Yeah,
BP?
the P is not really interesting to me.
Okay.
From what I saw. What options does this have? Rockets, ATGMs, more ATGMs, and anti-air. Yeah, I would skip this and then just go straight to the MI28.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a nice loadout options. 380 points. But yeah, I would go with the full attacker, the 16 ammo. The radar is nice, and this is exactly how I would use it. And then maybe 2 cards of it. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah, there's also a logistics helicopter, but we also have really nice trucks for it, so maybe we don't need it.
I don't think you can even afford this, honestly. Yeah, you can't. So that'll be your entire helicopter deck.
Okay, yeah, so maybe one step back and take one away from the Recon helicopter, and then go for the cheapest build as possible for this one. Is it possible to take away the guns?
No, you can replace them though.
Okay, it's not possible. Yeah, just to be sure, just in case, because logistics is really important, and sometimes you really want to have a fast helicopter for that one.
Yep.
So this should do it. Yeah.
Air tap.
We have 910 points left. All right. MiG-29 SMT. The cap is pretty cool, I feel, but expensive. I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking about. I have no idea what to do with this. But for Russia, it's kind of important to have like a cheap aircraft around, because they are better at spotting enemy aircraft than surface-to-air systems do. So I want to keep one up as cheap as possible.
You want up there as long as possible too.
Medium range, yeah, that is perfect. That is okay.
Just like this.
Let's take 2 cards of it. But look, the main purpose for it is not to engage enemy aircraft, but mostly to stick in your own side of the map and just spot the enemy aircraft, so your SAMs or AAA hits them more earlier than they would otherwise.
Bombers. Bomb stuff. I didn't see too good of effects from this, personally.
Yeah, so the anti-radar system is like much worse than we had before, right? It's not really that great anymore. Honestly, I would go back to the SU-24MN2 and let's take a look on the bombs it offers.
Gotta pee. We gotta hurry up.
So I would take the ODAP, the one in the upper part, the 110 points. For this one, I would go with the full tanks just to make it cheaper. Does it have more ODAPs? No, it doesn't. Then we just take the short range AA.
There's more ODAPs.
There's more options. Okay. 60 points. Yeah, just take it. 350 points. Pretty okay. Yeah. Let's take a second card on that one and then proceed. Okay, that's too expensive already. Then we go back again. This is fine. This is fine. Just keep it that way, and then let's take a look on the SU-25. You know, I'm not really a fan of them because they are slow. So, but the maps that you played are not as big anymore. They are much more compressed, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so they might have a spot here in place. And if I would go to use this one, I want to make it good against tanks, you know, like an anti-tank aircraft. This is kind of like a cruise missile, and I tried it before and it wasn't really that great.
Oh, it's a cruise missile.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, it was anti-AGM before, but they changed it, so not as good anymore. But the SU-25s are pretty good because I used that before. Now the SU-25 rockets, the 50 points. A little above? No, the one above. Yes, that's it. Those are able to snipe heavy tanks in one hit. You have to do a strafe order, right? Some command, and keep this on as small as possible, and target the heavy tank, and it just kills it in one hit. And I would go with the empty. Yeah. Does it even fit in? Because it might be too expensive already. No. Okay.
You can take something else out. Lower one of these.
Yeah, but that one is a really important unit. So instead, I would take away one of the UAZ, the Jeep in the Recon. Yeah. Okay, and that should be my end result, I think.
Yeah,
the SU-27 is really looking good, but it doesn't really have a place anymore. It's like the same anti-air or air superiority aircraft, but more expensive, so...
Yeah. I'm trying to see how cheap I can get this fucking thing for you. It's at 220.
It does offer more missiles, I see.
Yeah, you can also get ACM with missiles. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, I don't really have a place for it, so we need to skip over that one. That is the conclusion, I think.
Yep. And I gotta go. My wife is calling me. You have any last words? You have any last words?
What did you say? Sorry.
Do you have any last words? Last things to say to the people? Alright, well, make sure you guys check out Demo on YouTube at youtube.com/defdemoba. He's one of the best Russian mains in the game. He didn't get to play the press beta, but y'all will see it when the game drops in June. Also, congratulate him on getting mod in the official Broken Arrow Discord. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.